Hey guys, today I would like to talk to you about Halloween and why, for the first time, I will not be celebrating it this year. No decorations, no taking my son trick or treating, no giving candy to trick or treaters, nothing. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain briefly like the history of Halloween and why I can't in good conscience celebrate it anymore. And I know there's a lot of people who, like, in regards to Halloween, will say, like, well, it's not what it means to me if they are aware of the origins of it, or they'll say, well, God knows my heart. And I feel like that's kind of a cop out, honestly. I mean, it's not about what it means to you personally, it's about what it is and what its origins are. Um, and so, first, I'd like to say, I used to love Halloween. It's my second favorite holiday after Christmas. And so I was really disappointed to find out some of the origins like about Halloween. I already knew it wasn't a great thing. Well, here's a couple years ago. There's a picture of me and my son dressed up for Halloween. This was before I was born again. It was all innocent and fun. I loved dressing him up and, taking him trick or treating. Um, and then last year was my first Halloween after I had been born again, and I didn't really know about like the history and the origins of Halloween, but I just like intuitively had this feeling that it wasn't right. It made me uncomfortable, like the goriness, the decorations of, I remember seeing somebody at a decoration. It was supposed to look like a dead body hanging or skulls as decorations, and I'm just like, I just had a bad feeling about it, that it just wasn't really right. It was kind of just demented, like a demented form of entertainment. And then it also started to dawn on me, like, as far as having your children go door to door and asking strangers for candy. It's just like we're sending our children mixed messages because we always tell them, you don't talk to strangers, don't ever take candy from strangers. But then we're having them on the one day of the year going up to strangers' doors and taking candy from them. And I want to make another video like about Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter, because those I was even more disappointed to find out their pagan origins. But it's also like we lie to our kids, and I know it's in good fun, people say, but we, tell them there's this Santa Claus and an Easter bunny and a tooth fairy, and Santa Claus, if you're good, gives you presents, and then they find out it's not true and we've been lying to them, but then we want them to believe in God, and it's kind of like, I remember as a kid the thought crossing my mind, well, if Santa's not real and Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, then why, how do I know God's real? Maybe that's just a fairy tale type thing. So to begin, Halloween, the beginning origins of it came from a Celtic paganism festival called Samhain. This was celebrated in pre-Christian Ireland, and this was like before the 4th or 5th century AD. Christianity wasn't there yet. The festival started the night of October 31st and went to November 1st. It was also their new year. And the Druids were the ones who started it, and it came from this Celtic mythology. And they would sacrifice animals, sometimes even humans. Um, Jack-o'-lanterns came about because they would carry around a human head, and they believed that it was a day and night of heightened spirituality and the veil between the living and the dead. Sorry, there's ambulance outside. God bless. I hope they're okay. Um, the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest on this night. Spirits can more easily pass through. This is what they believed. Um, and they believed that Lord Samhain would capture the souls and then take them to the darkness. Sorry for the brief intermission. All right, where did I leave off? Spirits could pass through more easily. And there was this Lord Samhain that they believed would capture the souls and take them to the darkness. And then I also found out that they would have a big fire that was part of it. It's believed that they thought it could guide spirits and help with divination. They also would like burn the sacrifices in there, and the term bonfire actually comes from bone fire. So when they would burn these bodies, what would be left is bones. So that's why it was called bonfire, bone fire. Um, and so then it would turned into All Saints Day. So the Catholics tried to like put a spin on it and incorporate Christianity into it. Kind of to just appease people, appease the pagans. And they did this with other holidays, Christmas, Easter. And so then it took on like this carnival circus type characteristics, these characteristics. This was in Europe, and they would dress in costumes, and they believed that they could trick uh, spirits with disguises. And they also believed this in the earlier times with the Druids, and that by wearing like these costumes with that looked like demons, that you could blend in and hide from the demons and the evil spirits. Um, and then the All Saints Day is also called All Hallows Day, Hallowmass, Feast of All Saints, and the term Halloween is hallow means saints, and then meant eve, so it was like the evening before the Saints Day, the All Saints Day. And then trick or treating got its origins because back in the ancient times, so before, well, I guess before uh, Catholics put a spin on it, for trick or treating, they would offer food and treats to appease the evil spirits. So that's how that started with the trick or treating. And then when it became the All Saints Day, people would go door to door and offer like baked goods and treats in exchange for prayers for the dead. Um, and so that's how the history of it started. It's still a very important day in like the occult and people who participate in witchcraft. This is their main holiday, their biggest holiday. There are people that sacrifice animals and sacrifice black cats, and they still believe spirits are unleashed on this day. And by people unknowingly, ignorantly participating if they're actually helping with this. That's what with these spells. That's what these witches and occultists believe. And so, I understand that Halloween can be really fun, and it's fun to scare yourself and the adrenaline of like going to a haunted house, and it's fun, and putting up decorations and stuff. And I get that. And, it's a little bit of a bummer not being able to celebrate it this year. And it's going to be even more of a bummer not being able to celebrate like Christmas. And I know people are probably going to be judging me, different friends, relatives, and like, oh, well, she's taken this way too far now, this religious thing. And, all this is not fun for her son. And it's it might make me seem weird a little bit, but we are called to not be of this world, and we are supposed to be set apart and, not love the things of this world. Definitely not put them before the Lord. And it even says in Luke 14:26, if anyone comes to me and does not hate their father, mother, wife, children, brothers, sisters, yes, even their own life, they can't be my disciple. And what that means, it doesn't mean hate them, like detest them and have contempt for them. What it means in the translation is love them less than the Lord. You're supposed to love the Lord more than anyone, even your own life. So you're supposed to put him before the opinions of others. And people might think I'm strange for doing this or that I'm taking it too far, but the Lord and what he thinks of me, that's what matters most to me. And I can't in good conscience participate in this and feel that it's right. And it's a small thing to give up. It's a small price to pay in exchange for the Lord. And I definitely love him more than I love Halloween or any of the holidays. And, this isn't to judge people who are participating in it, or to look down on them. I mean, this will be my first year not doing it. And, I have no room to judge. It's let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So, I'm not doing this in a way to be like that. I just want to let people know why I'm not celebrating it. And maybe for people who aren't aware of this stuff, because I was never aware of it, just to shed a little light on it. Uh, that's why I won't be celebrating Halloween this year. And I thank you so much for watching this video, and God bless.